Hello! In this video, we will take a look at communication with our admins. Communication is the key. Good communication is vital to be able to work successfully remotely. During projects, you communicate exclusively in writing through the chat interface of our platform with our admins. You have to remember that communication goes both ways. Admin communicates with you, but also you are communicating with our admins. Therefore, you are fully responsible for your communication on the task. Communication is also part of your rating for the project, so without good communication, you are not able to receive high ratings. Let's take a look at example that showcases why communication is really important. This is a little bit more extreme example, but it shows it very well. So let's imagine that we are at the start of some project and the designer writes to us, I'm starting on the task. But as the time goes, there is no further communication. Designer is not responding to admin's questions, and as well, there was no VIP submitted. At the end of the duration of the task, the designer comes back and delivers actually very good file, but just 10 minutes before the deadline. Well, was this a successful project? Answer is definitely no. So let's take a look at why this would not be successful project really. So first of all, if you do not communicate with us, we are not sure what is your progress on the file, if you understand the task correctly, or if you are even working at all. So this behavior puts the task itself at risk and possibly jeopardizes delivery on other tasks since one admin handles multiple tasks at the same time. Since we really can't risk the success of the project if you are not communicating with us, we really need to find some other solution. So possibly we search for another designer to work on the task, or if it's very late, we need to work on the task ourselves. And this raises the chance of missing the client's deadline, which is really unacceptable. Therefore, even if you would in the end provide good final result just before the deadline, you would have not received good rating because you have put the project into the risk, you wasted admins or other designers' time, and created huge stress on the whole team. So therefore, let's focus on applying the best practices. Those are to be present, to be available and respond to us as soon as possible when your admin writes to you. If you are unsure of anything, make sure you ask questions. Don't just assume or guess. Confirm with the admin that you understand the task correctly. Let the admin know your progress. This is very, very important for us, but also for you, because you don't want to waste your time on working something wrongly and causing yourself some extensive rework. So that also saves the time for you and makes you available for more projects and be faster, more productive, which eventually leads to better ratings and higher earnings. If there is any issue on the task, just raise it politely to your admin and I'm sure we will try to help you the best we can. Now let's take a look at what to do when. So we have project timeline from the start to the end. As you can see, at the start and end there is a higher admin's input, and in the middle it's a bit lower. So at the beginning you want to check in with your admin, make sure that they know that you are starting to work, read and understand the instructions carefully, because only then you are able to ask correct questions. Then confirm with admin that you know what to do. In the middle of the task or during, you are obviously working on the project itself, you are uploading your VIP files for the admin to review, and then you are receiving the feedback files or some comments back. You want to keep your admin updated, first with your progress, but also you want to inform us if you are taking some break, and please always write us the time when you will be back. Because if you write, I'm just taking a break, we don't know if that means half an hour, 10 minutes, or 2 hours. So obviously that can create a lot of difference for us. And closely towards the end of the task, you want to make sure that you upload your final file for review well before the deadline, because you can count with some feedback. So you need to be also online to receive this feedback and be prepared to edit project according to admin's comments. And at the end, you of course upload the final file. Now, let's take a look closer on how to ask questions, because that's a very important part of the communication. So first of all, make sure that you have carefully reviewed the task description, files, and instructions. Only then you are really well informed and you are able to ask questions that you need to ask. Make sure you write questions as soon as possible, so the task is clear to you from the start and you are avoiding this way rework down the line. If possible, ask all questions at once. And try to be clear in formulating your questions. So mention the slide number, specific instructions that are not clear to you, or you can even send us a screenshot to point out what exactly you mean. Now let's take a look at a small example of the conversation. So as you can see at the top, we have task description, and then we have the communication between designer and admin. So designer asked few questions and sent some messages. So let's take a look at what was wrong with this. So first of all, designer asked question that was already responded in the task description. So the question was, should I convert into client's widescreen template? As you can see, it's already answered in the first top sentence of the task description. It says, yes, convert all slides to client's widescreen template. So this should be really clear. Another issue is that you can see multiple messages, and this is very counterproductive, especially when messages are sent like one message, 2 minutes, another message, 3 minutes, another message. Then admin has to be going back and forth and responding all of these separately, which also distracts the focus of admins, and generally it's a bit more chaotic. So what would be better practice is to sum up all of your questions and all the information you want to provide us with to one very clear message. So it could look more like this: hi admin, I would like to confirm which template to use. Can you clarify what is correct footer placement? I couldn't find it in the guidelines. And I will submit VIP after 3 slides after I get my confirmation. That way we know everything you need to know, and we will provide you also at once with the answers. So that would be perfect. Further about asking questions, when you are asking questions, but generally overall communication should be related to the task. If you have any questions related to your career at Knowmore, such as payments, issues on your previous tasks, questions about your previous ratings, and so on, they should be asked through other suitable channels, which might be our info mail, or you can go directly to our Knowmore webpage, and there is this small window where you can send us any questions you have, and we will respond as soon as possible. Now let's take a look at the communication, because bad communication doesn't mean only like not responding. It has both sides, where one side, the most extreme, is to be totally silent, and another very extreme side on the right would be to not be independent at all. So first, the silent part might mean the designer does not ask questions at all, even though something was unclear, but designer just keeps working on the project based on own assumptions. Then that leaves admin to correct the work at the very end, and that causes maybe some extensive rework and jeopardizes deadline. Another point would be the designer did not send any VIP file even though it was required, or maybe there was even some uncertainty about the task. Designer did not communicate to admin his or her availability and went silent for hours, causing some worries to admins if the project will be completed in the time. So that would be the silent spectrum. On the other hand, we have no independency, which means the designer would be constantly asking too many questions throughout the whole project instead of summarizing them and asking them all at once, optimally also at the start of the project. It would be impatient approach with the admin's reply speed, expecting answers immediately instead of waiting a few minutes and then asking again. It would also mean asking questions that are clearly already answered in the description and instructions of the project, or asking admin for solutions without any effort to find some yourself. So therefore, let's recap what are do's and don'ts. So please do ask questions, do ask smartly and efficiently, do confirm your understanding of the task, tell your admin about your progress, send your VIP files even if you are not asked, do reach out to admins if you need any urgent advice, help, or review. Please be patient if the admins don't respond to you right away. They really juggle multiple projects at the same time. And please use our platform's internal resources. They might be really helpful for you. Now on the don't side, please don't stay silent. Don't upload your first final file way too late. Don't forget to tell the admin when you are away. Don't assume instead of confirming. And don't disappear in the middle of a project without informing your admin in advance. I hope this video was helpful for you and will help you in the future to communicate better with our admins and solve any issue on the task together. Thank you for watching.